XT2000 here, and today I'm gonna review the new Avengers Age of Ultron movie! Yes! Marvel. So anyways, guys, this movie review is going to be spoiler loaded, so if you don't want to hear anything, cover your ears now or exit the video. So the beginning of the film, you know, was pretty cool. You know, all the characters jumped right into the action. It was crazy. However, I had a little problem with Tony Stark. I mean, I love Robert Downey Jr. He does a phenomenal job acting, especially with Tony Stark. You know, nothing wrong with his performance. But I didn't like how Tony just shows up out of nowhere in the beginning without any explanation as to why he's fighting. Why does he still have the Iron Man suit after Iron Man 3 when he clearly gave up being Iron Man? What, all of a sudden he's just in the movie with the Iron Man suits fighting crime? That's great. I just want to know a little background on it. There's nothing there. In the beginning, the Avengers are fighting Hydra for Loki's scepter. What I don't understand is, why does Hydra have Loki's scepter in the first place? There's nowhere in the movie does it explain that they have it. I'm assuming because Hydra is technically S.H.I.E.L.D., and since S.H.I.E.L.D. always had access to all the alien tech and weapons, maybe that's the explanation behind it. But walking into the movie, if you don't know any background at all whatsoever of the previous films, TV shows, or any of the characters, you won't know what's going on, basically. So it worked out perfectly for the first Avengers, where if you didn't know anything, you were fine. But this one, you actually have to know everything, which is kind of a problem if this is like your first Marvel movie that you're watching. I would like a little bit more explanation as to why they have the scepter. I really have no clue. Also, later on in the movie, Tony Stark has this army of robots called the Iron Legion, which are these peacekeeping robots, and Ultron becomes one of those robots. And Ultron just basically pops up randomly out of nowhere, like in thin air. And there's no explanation, there's no motive, there's no background as to anything, why he wanted to do what he did and why he wants peace. Why can't he just be an evil robot that wants to conquer the world? Why does everything have to be due from peace? I mean, it could be because he was a peacekeeping robot, but in the movie he wasn't really a peacekeeping robot. He was artificial intelligence that was embedded inside of the crystal of Loki's scepter, and Stark and Bruce Banner were trying to create artificial intelligence for the Iron Legion. So that was kind of a problem, because to me, I was kind of hoping for the AI in the Iron Legion develops a consciousness and gets angry and mad and becomes Ultron, but we don't get that. Ultron just magically appears inside one of the Iron Legion bodies and becomes Ultron, and that's it. The movie wasn't really going places where it wanted it to go. However, there were funny moments that each character took part of, which made the movie a little bit more enjoyable. However, some moments felt a little dry, especially the so-called romance between Romanoff and Bruce Banner, aka Hulk. Like, there was nothing in the previous films that hinted at a romance. Like, what, do they all of a sudden like each other now? That's great. When did that happen? It just basically dumped the entire romance in maybe like 10-15 minutes of the film, not even less than that, and they're already madly in love. So I had a problem with the romance. It didn't feel right. It should have enveloped more. It shouldn't have just been that really short thing in the movie. Like, they were really crunching for time in this movie. I don't know what's with Joss Whedon. I know he was exhausted filming all over the world and everything, but come on, you could at least add a little bit more something in it. It felt very short, very forced. It was really like a time squeezer sort of thing. Another thing is the character Hawkeye that no one really cares about. You know, all of a sudden in this movie he has a wife and kids. I know that in one of the comic stories he does have, you know, like a family or whatever, but come on, I don't want to see that in the movie. That's not what I was kind of hoping for, because like I said, no one cares about Hawkeye. Quicksilver dies. Oops. I would much rather have Hawkeye die than Quicksilver, because Hawkeye really did nothing for the team, and if he died, and everybody would be like, what? Who died? Exactly, no one would care. But Quicksilver dies and everyone's like, oh my god! Because Quicksilver does a lot more than what Hawkeye does. Hawkeye's like the guy version of Katniss Everdeen, hit with his bow and arrow shooting things. Really? It really doesn't make sense. Hawkeye does nothing for the team. He's useless. How is he even a superhero? I don't understand it. If he died, I'd be much better than Quicksilver. Quicksilver had much more potential. He could have carried the team a lot better, done a lot more for the team than what Hawkeye does. He can run super fast like the Flash. You know, that's a superpower. That's categorized as a superhero, whereas Hawkeye's just this little guy that no one cares about with bow and arrow shooting things. Yay. That's just great. And another thing, like in the comics, Ultron is this menacing, evil robot guy that is really strong, and the Avengers have a really hard time destroying him. But he was so easily like beaten and destroyed in the movie. I don't know if it's because if it was rushed for time or anything, because the ending, like the big fight scene between like, you know, good versus evil, it was very short. It felt short-lived, and Ultron just like dead, and that was it. I really didn't even care when he died either. I was like, yeah, cool. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this movie a 4.5 out of 5 stars for making my eyes bleed. This movie sucked donkey balls, okay? Bad. Don't watch it. If you're a big Marvel fan, then watch it, but you're gonna be disappointed. But if you really don't care about movies or Marvel, you just thought this would be a cool movie to see with your pals, don't bother. It's not worth the money, not worth the time driving or in the theater, waiting in line. No. You're gonna waste your time, your money, and your life. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure to like this video, save it to your favorites, comments in the comments below. Let me know how I did on this video. Also check out some other videos, and have a great day.